That's right. Jay Carney
They
got
just
that
will
question.
not negotiate any of that.
That's right. Jay Carney got that question today. Will you just accept ending the medical device tax? No. Will you accept a one-year delay? Not defunding the health care law, but just delaying it, delaying a piece of it. The individual mandates said no, no, no. So the bottom line is the position inside the White House is, look, if Republicans are backing them into a corner on all of this, they don't think that's fair. They don't think that's a real compromise, and they're just not going to give in on it. So basically, we're still at square one.
Amazing. Ed Henry, thank you very much, my friend.
Good to see you.
Well, amid the fighting, Democrats are warning.
The Republican CR also lays the groundwork for a default on our debt.
We can't have any kind of meaningful negotiations under the cloud of potential default, the first in U.S. history.
The Republicans who are willing to default on paying Americans' debt.
Threats and willingness to default.
They would push the button, throw America into default for the first time in history, and risk throwing us back into a recession.
By the way, a quick update here. You don't default with a government shutdown. You default if you don't make good on an interest payment. Some interpret it Social Security or Medicare check, but you don't default when the government shuts down. We got Market Watcher Dave Maney here to explain. Dave.
Well, Neil, there's something called conflation going on here, which is the act of intentionally confusing two different issues for purposes of making a point. The point is that the Democrats want people to think that we've got a full faith and credit issue going on here in this government shutdown thing. In fact, the shutdown, which is not really a shutdown, only affects about a third of the roughly almost 3 million federal government employees in this country. So what you get is something that I call sort of the sequester writ large, meaning that you get lots of bureaucrats and regulators going home, but you get food safety and Social Security checks and military payments and everything you can think of. The women and children thing, food stamps, all of that gets paid.
Then when do you have a default? Help us with that. When do you technically get a default?
So you could get the debt ceiling thing is a completely different discussion, and they're only going on right now by an accident of timing that they're happening at the same time. So the debt ceiling thing says, once you've racked up bills, we're going to say how much you can borrow to try to pay them. And that's a full faith and credit discussion. That's not today's discussion. Today's discussion about is in effect about continuing to rack up the bills. And so you got a sequester that didn't matter much. Here you've got a sequester writ large, which is going to affect some people, but not that many. But it is not about the full faith and credit discussion. But if you're a Democrat who wants to scare people or to make them fearful of this situation or to demonize Republicans, you will work very hard to conflate those two issues and make people think they're the same.
Dave, thank you very, very much. We did want to remind you again that you do not default with the government shutting down. You